Last time I'm going to try this. What's up, everybody? Professional wrestler Chris Wild back with another live stream, my third attempt at this. As you see in the video, Eagles beat the Lions. What are we so pissed about? I'm going to tell you. I'm pissed off for multiple reasons. Again, Verizon Wireless can suck it. This 5G stuff ain't it. It's just not it as far as streaming, at least for me around here. Had to pull over in order to do this. Listen, the Eagles win 38 to, what was it? What was it, guys? Help me out here. The Eagles win by 3, 38 to 35. Shouldn't have been that close. I didn't expect it to be that close. A lot of people annoyed me during the week. I didn't even do a preview video for this week. I was very annoyed. The Philadelphia Eagles went out and did everything I wanted them to. Number one wide receiver, new linebackers, some help on that defensive line, new secondary, basically. They did everything, and that wasn't good enough for people around here. Everybody wanted to sit here and say that the Lions were going to come in, that we're going to beat the Eagles, they were going to win because of Hard Knocks, because Dan Campbell is this leader of men. I mean, we got the same shit last year with this guy, and it's so annoying. It's just annoying. The Lions suck. The Lions are a bad football team, okay? And that's why I'm a little bit upset right now. That's why I'm pissed off right now, because the Philadelphia Eagles almost lost to a poor football team. When they were up 21-7, I'm like, okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. When they put up 30, it seemed like, it was, I think, 31-14. That's more along the likes is what I was thinking, and I think that was right after the half. Winning 38-35, yes, it's a W. Come the end of the season, we probably won't think twice about this game. But it was sloppy. Again, the defense was one of these things. I'll be honest with you. I was a little bit worried about the offense. Jalen Hurts obviously was the biggest question mark of the offseason. How would they all get together? How would they mesh? Would the chemistry be there? I was really worried about the offense, but I wasn't worried about the defense. I looked at a guy like Hassan Reddick coming in. I looked at the defensive line with Jordan Davis, with Milton Williams, another year of him. Fletcher Cox basically being, not having to rely on him as much. Brandon Graham looking great. The linebackers, Kazir White, Nakobe Dean, TJ Edwards, and then that secondary with Bradbury, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson now, and Slay. I'm like, I don't have anything to worry about with the defense, especially against Jared Goff and the damn Lions. And boy, was I wrong. I mean, this defense, look, this is the same shit as last year. So to me, when I look at this defense, it's different players. Like, over half of the defense is different. So it only leaves one guy to put the blame on, and that's Jonathan Gannon. And look, I said some shit about him last year. I went off after the Raiders game. He got a little bit better, of course, when you're playing Jake Fromm and you're playing Gabby Gilbert or whatever his name was from Washington. You're playing all these bad, Taysom Hill one game. Of course you're going to look decent. Of course you're going to look good. But when you're playing any quarterback that has, look, and Jared Goff sucks too. Let's not get that twisted. Jared Goff is not a good quarterback, but he's been to a Super Bowl, okay? He's been to a couple of championship games. The guy does know how to manage a game. They just fold. I don't understand how Detroit basically ran up and down the field from the half of the third quarter until the end of the game. It's, again, absolutely infuriating. Now, the beginning of the game, I expected. This was a Detroit fan base that had sold out that stadium for the first time since 2019. They built into that. They bought into that 2019 or 2022 Hard Knocks show and Dan Campbell and all the excitement. And they listened to the media saying the Lions could win and they were going to surprise the Eagles. And again, it almost actually happened. But it's in no way it should have been that close. I got a big problem with the officiating of this game. It really seemed like Detroit's Super Bowl. It seemed like that Detroit was playing in their Super Bowl. The way the fans were, the way the refs were. And again, I hate to be the guy that complains about the officiating, because we could probably go up and down any game this weekend and pick something. But I don't understand how when a guy is running at a quarterback and then he slides, how when a defensive player then tackles him after the slide, it's not a penalty. I don't get it. It happened 4 or 5 times. On the 6th time that it happened, it was so obvious that they finally threw a flag to the point where Detroit was like, what the hell? We've been doing this all game. The Eagles were like even looking kind of confused, and that's when the dude gets thrown out of the game and ejected. Eagles, look, again, this defensive line, I can blame Jonathan Gannon, but when they're playing against an offensive line from Detroit that is missing guys, that is playing beat up, how you get 1 sack, and it was only a sack because Jared Goff couldn't handle the snap. The only reason why it was. How you can't get 1 snap or any pressure on this dude, I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. Hargrave, invisible. Fletcher Cox, invisible. I mean, Hassan Reddick was trying. They were getting held. Again, going back to the officials, there's a bunch of plays I saw where the Detroit Lions were absolutely holding on for dear life against a defensive line at times. Nothing was called. There were no penalties there. Of course, I don't even think there was one defensive hold or one offensive holding call on the Lions. Well, maybe one. How crazy is that? It was just, and then the tackling, man. Listen, I'm very happy that the Eagles went into the season completely healthy. I think that's awesome. But the fact that they didn't tackle at all during practice, to me, it showed today. I mean, the missed tackles, the sloppiness. DeAndre Swift looked like Barry Sanders in there. Jamal Williams on the sideline crying in joy. It was just unbelievable how they sliced and diced through this defense. And yes, it brought back memories from last year. Different personnel, same shit. Jalen Hurts. What do we think of Jalen Hurts in this game? Again, the game started off really bad on both sides. Once they settled down, I see people complaining, "Oh, Jalen, he can't read defenses. Once he is past his first read, he takes off, runs for his life." That's what Jalen Hurts. Look, Jalen Hurts is a running quarterback. He's a running quarterback. That's what he is. It's what he's going to be. I have no issue with that because he's really, really good at it. Really good at it. The fact that people are like mad, like Eagle fans are upset that A.J. Brown got basically all the targets is insane to me. A.J. Brown is an absolute beast. And look, I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts supporter or Jalen Hurts truther, but I don't understand how people can say he can't throw and he's not accurate and doesn't have a deep ball. That pass to Brown for that 54-yard pass was beautiful, right exactly where it needed to be. A.J. Brown was where he needed to be, and he drug a defender. Devontae Smith has no catches. Quez Watkins had no catches. They were blitzing the shit out of the offensive line for the Philadelphia Eagles. Did not have a very good game. They didn't. Goal line, they did pretty well. Other than that, Hurts had to run because there just was not much protection there. There just wasn't. The offensive line had a bad game. This, to me, was like a preseason game for the Philadelphia Eagles. It really was. It was their first preseason game and hopefully their last preseason game because I'm looking at that Viking game against the Packers, and the Vikings look like, I mean, the Lions are not a good football team. The Vikings look like a really good football team. And again, it's week 1. Overreactions are going to be going through, they're just going to be insane. But it is troubling that, they struggled so hard to beat this Detroit team. And, at the end, the better team won. I had no reservations about the Eagles winning this football game. But like I said, it's just to only win by 3 points and to struggle like they did. I mean, it was just, I didn't understand some of the play calls. I mean, you wiped the floor with this team last year by running the ball. And they kind of got away from that a little bit. Again, Jalen kind of heated up in the second quarter, so I can understand that. But it was just, it was just just one of those games. For anything positive, Miles Sanders, welcome back. He looked really good anytime he had the ball. Pretty much iced the game and put it away with that first down run at the very end of the fourth quarter. He looks good. Get the ball to him more. Like I said, A.J. Brown, I haven't been this excited for a wide receiver since Terrell Owens. I think, same body build, same type of receiver. He's only just getting started. Dallas Goedert looked good, I thought. Again, Quez and Devontae Smith, they'll get theirs. They're going to, because teams are going to have to try to take away A.J. Brown. They're just going to have to, which is going to leave these guys open. And hopefully the offensive line can protect Jalen Hurts a little bit better. Nick Sirianni said in his presser that Jalen had complete control of the game, and I agree with that. And I will say this, and I will be fair. Again, I bring up that 54-yard bomb looked great. There were some throws of Jalen's that I thought, one to A.J. Brown, which if he didn't throw it low, it would have been a touchdown, and one to Kenny Gainwell, where just kind of threw it in the dirt, McNabb style. Was pretty bad, so he's got to tighten up on that. But again, it is week 1, and the Eagles went into a pressure cooker. I mean, like, again, the Lions are a bad team, but that place in Detroit was their Super Bowl. I mean, it was so loud. I've talked to guys that were there. It was so loud in that place. The Lions were believing. Dan Campbell was super believing. Like I said, Jamal Williams was probably was crying somewhere, but 1-0, guys. 1-0. I'll have more on this game. I want to get the hell out of here. It is raining on the East Coast where I am at. I want to find out what the Dallas Cowboys are going to look like as I go to watch them face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody's pointing towards Tampa. I have a weird feeling about Tampa. Again, their offensive line is hurt. Tom Brady has just been really odd this offseason. JB, what's going on? Is Swift that good, or is our run D something to be... Swift is not that good. No. I'm not saying Swift isn't good. Swift is good, but he is not that good. He is not, what do you have, 155 yards? He's not 155 yards a game good. Our run defense, and this bothered me in that Miami preseason game, and I understand it was all backups in that game, but it was the same thing. Like, they just couldn't I think it's because this team does not, again, during the training camp, they did not tackle to the ground. They didn't tackle to the ground. Now, teams like the Buffalo Bills or teams like the Detroit Lions, they tackled to the ground. They were more physical during training camp. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, look, come in really healthy. But this first game, and probably the first couple games, and if it's going to be like this next week, it's going to be really hard to win, is like their preseason as far as tackling to the ground. And you look at professionals that make millions of dollars, and they shouldn't have to get used to that, but it is absolutely something because their body, it's absolutely something they got to get used to, and that could be part of the problem. I hope it's not a scheme issue. I was a little concerned in the very beginning when, again, goal line situation for Detroit during that first drive. Jordan Davis isn't out there. He's your biggest run stopper. So we'll see. I mean, I would love to see Hassan Reddick rushing the passer. Jonathan Gannon went for a zero blitz, and it worked early on in the game. I mean, there was a part of the game where Jared Goff had only had like 6 yards, I think, into the third quarter maybe, or end of the second quarter. Why they went away from that, and I used to pull my hair out back in the day when we would have prevent defenses under Jim Schwartz, and it kind of looks like that with Jonathan Gannon. I hope for the Eagles' defensive sake that it's because, again, man, you got all this talent here. Vic Fangio was at Eagles training camp an awful lot this year. How long does it take before Jeffrey Lurie or Howie Roseman says, we got a chance this year, let's get this guy out? Because he's not, if you can't, you let the Lions put 35 on you. And I do think the Lions are improved from last year. I still think they stink, though. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. It was disgusting. Stupid penalties. Let me get to that before I get out of here. That was another thing, and it's another part of the Eagles not really having a preseason, barely playing their starters during the preseason. That Miami game, I've thought about how Tua and Tyreek Hill and the first team offense was out there that last game. They did have some Hard Knocks energy, and and again, it was a scary thing. But let me finish my point about the Dolphins. They were out there for that last preseason game. The Eagles weren't. But yeah, the Hard Knocks thing kind of concerned me because there was a stat about the last 4 Hard Knocks home underdogs, ended up covering and winning, and I'm like, holy shit! And as the game went on, as I started seeing things, I'm like, man, if Detroit wins this, I don't know if they would, and I feel like they won. That's the weird thing. I do not feel, this doesn't feel like an Eagles win to me, and there was a lot of good there, but the defense I can't watch it again, guys. I can't go through it another season of watching this Eagles defense let average to good quarterbacks look like friggin' Joe Montana. It cannot happen. It can't. If Fletcher Cox is not effective anymore, and maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but then sit his ass, man. I just can't. There's got to be a reason why there's no pass pressure on these quarterbacks. There's none. And blitz if you got to blitz. But it was just one of those type of games, and I'm almost happy at the way the games are going, and I don't know if the Packers have started to come back a little bit or not against the Vikings, but the Vikings should come into Philly feeling really confident, and the Eagles, even though they're 1-0 as well, should really look like they got something to prove on prime time against a really good team, because today was just not it for me. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. And it could have been worse. They could have lost, but I didn't expect it to go down the way it went down. Yeah, they were. The lines on both sides were absolutely underwhelming. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people complain about Hurts, the fact that he was running for his life and looking at his first read, and if it wasn't there, leaving. The dude did not have much time. He just didn't. There were a couple times when he did, and he ran, and he shouldn't. I counted maybe 2. But other than that, they were bringing it. They were bringing it, and the Eagles' offensive line had no answers. They had no answers. And again, maybe it's good to happen against a team like Detroit, because now there's time to fix it, where you almost gave Detroit a handicap. You know what I mean? Like, at least now you can't do that. You can't do that against a good team, and things need to be fixed. I think Jalen Hurts got up there on his presser and said they didn't meet their standard, and he's not happy, and I love that, because they didn't. That just, again, of all the 1-0 teams, man, the Eagles, they were probably the most underwhelming so far. I've got to be honest with you, and it can be worse because a lot of teams look worse out there today. But yeah, I cannot be happy with a 3-point win against the Detroit Lions, who I don't know when their first win's going to come. I've not bought into the Dan Campbell thing, I just haven't, man. I just don't think he's a good coach. I don't. They've got really one receiver and St. Brown. DeAndre Swift, again, is okay. He's not great like that. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here, get back on the road, probably do another kind of review video in the week, plus preview the Minnesota Vikings, and talk more about this just piss poor coaching performance from Jonathan Gannon, and the defense just absolutely pissing me off. I will say this, one guy I really love on this Eagles defense, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, hasn't been on the team long, already looks like he's going to be a stud. Kazir White, I think, is a stud. They got him at a discount price from the Chargers. I am excited about those two guys. Other than that, and I mean, Bradbury did what Bradbury does. Great coverage, was in the right place for that interception. Happy with him too. But as far as the defensive line goes, I'm not happy with any of those guys. To be honest with you, as far as defensive line goes, and even like TJ Edwards, it just looked slow out there. Hopefully we see more Nakobe Dean as time goes on. I don't know. But other than that, and talk about some special teams, the punt return game was underwhelming as well. Britton Covey, rookie. It just did what a lot of Eagles returners have done over the years, whether it's Greg Ward or Jalen Reagor, and that's this. They just do this and they catch the ball. But with that being said, everybody enjoy the games later. Hopefully the Cowgirls go down and lose. Again, the Eagles defeat the Lions today. Doesn't feel like a victory. The most underwhelming victory I've had this feeling since the Danucci Cowboys game, when they won that game. I thought that was pretty underwhelming as well. But this one, I don't know, doesn't sit right with me. Again, it's a win. What am I complaining about? Should be happy. And again, Fly Eagles fly, go Birds. They did win, but they got a lot of work to do before Monday night, next Monday night. So, that being said, everybody, stay safe out there. Enjoy the games. Go Birds, and I'll see you later.